write like a man. Use a typewriter.
Last time we talked, and this is kind of just a little bit off topic. Last time we talked, and this time, I know Jonathan's been wanting to ask you a question about Lilith, I think.
The Genesis 6 conspiracy has a fascinating chapter about Lilith, mentioned once, it seems, biblically, and then, but yet has remained part of the cultural zeitgeist and has become such a popular thing.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it is an important goddess figure, right? She's, I look at her more of almost a demigod in terms of the research that I've done on her, and through the lineage of Tiamat, which is a Leviathan dragon type character of the parent gods. So from that aspect, could be a not a demigod, but an offspring god. You could look at it from the gods that Lilith is created, and she's also called the Queen of Heaven, which is the really sort of nexus point where it comes into. So if we understand that Mary apparition is called the Queen of Heaven, and we understand the Queen of Heaven is in the Bible as being like the Ashtaroth gods, and called in the book of Jeremiah. This is the mother goddess aspect that's going to have to come back as part of this dual religion that has a god and a goddess in that old infrastructure. So that part of the duality's got to be coming back. And you know, the Sibylline prophecies that came on Palatine Hill, one of the 7 hills of Rome, and they considered their goddess as the Queen of Heaven as well. There you get this imagery that sort of, and I'm just sort of doing this quickly because it's a fairly long topic, but you get this imagery that is coming about that is going to sort of resurface as part of this Babel religion that's coming back, and who is represented in Revelation 12 as the description that those 6 children saw in their apparitions, as is a similar description to the other Mary visions and all the Mary visions, from Joan of Arc to Ignatius of Loyola to, you know, Fatima. It's all a very, very similar description. And remember, we have a woman that is riding the beast empire, which is the end time mystery religion, because the mother goddess was actually thought in ancient times to be as important or more important than the male god. It was not only the fertility goddess and a war goddess, right? And sort of Athena,
Isis,
so we need to be aware of that Queen of Heaven aspect that is going to become more prominent.
Man, that is so awesome. I really want to touch on that more next time we're able to talk, because it seems like there is such a corollary between Lilith and then this feminine divine concept that is, you know, and whether that's the Whore of Babylon or what that is exactly, it just seems to be this this thing meant to lead people astray, you know.
And known in Gnosticism as Sophia and wisdom.
Sophia, that's right.
And of course, you see that coming up with AI and artificial intelligence and names and things like that.
Oh, that's right.
So, expect. So you have that Queen of Heaven that shows up in all the polytheist cultures around the world, and it's been created within Christianity to be accepted, just as Mary Magdalene is thought to be sort of an allegorical Queen of Heaven as well, and is the one that is, you know, the Gothic cathedrals was named after. And of course, in Gnosticism, she's the one who marries Jesus, because Jesus doesn't die on the cross, and that's one of the ways I think they're going to de-deify Jesus and created offspring that goes into, you know, the Camelot dynasties. Through Joseph of Arimathea taking Josephus, the 3rd son, over there. And then there's an intermarriage between Aragon of the Camelot dynasties, who's a descendant of Josephus, and Amenemhat of the Merovingian dynasty, that ennobles that dynasty into those Nephilim bloodlines, and with Tuatha De Danann dynasties of Camelot, the shining city on a hill. is the bloodlines of the Grail dynasties, and those are the bloodlines that extend out of Dagobert, the last survivor of the Merovingians, whom I know this is long. Hugh de Payon, Godfrey de Bouillon, and Anjou, all of the Lorraine region, that take their bloodlines back to Dagobert, who has those genealogies. And of course, it's the Anjou that kept the King of Jerusalem title crowned to them in 1118, which they want to take as a title at the Abomination, and that passed down eventually through Hungary, and then back into the Lorraine region, over to the Habsburg-Lorraine dynasty. Currently rests with the Bourbon family, which is the bloodline of the kings of France and King Philippe, son of Juan Carlos, who has the King of Jerusalem title today. But within the Anjou bloodline, there's some rivals to the King of Jerusalem title, so one shouldn't be too surprised about that. But